Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Arctic Vet YouTube channel. Today we're inside the house because we have something amazing to show you from Hen Gear. We just got accepted into the affiliate program. That's super exciting, and we're going to show you how to put together their nesting box. Now, we got their small nesting box, and we're going to be using it on our coop, our chicken coop, and we've got tons of videos of that over on our Arctic Vet family channel. So go over there, check that stuff out, and let's roll that intro and get into making this nesting box. Alright, here we go. We got this big old package here. We're going to open it up. I've already got it kind of open, but we need to pull everything out. Bam! There we go. Let's separate all this stuff. Figure out how it goes together. Alright, now we've got it all unboxed. I absolutely love right off the bat that everything is numbered, so there's no guessing. You're not gonna have to worry about like, oh, is it this part or that part? Well, they're all numbered, all of them. It's great. They even have this sweet clean eggs are just around the corner. It tells you steps 1 and 2 how to train your hens to use this as a nesting box. That's awesome. I'll put some of these down in the description. You guys check that out. Next, the reversible nest box, roll out nest box. So we're gonna have ours roll out the rear on the right there. That way in our coop, I'll show you guys a little bit later how that'll work out. We'll definitely have a video of installing it into the coop over on the family channel. Shows you everything we need. It's going to walk us step by step what to do. So let's get to it. Before you begin, the tools you'll need, we used a 10mm, an 11mm, and a 14mm wrench, as well as a 3/8 socket and a 14mm socket, and a Phillips screwdriver. And an egg. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is get the ones that say 3 and 4. Arctic Mama's working on that one. Then we're going to grab the bag that says 3/8. Take one of those bolts, and we're going to put it through that hole just like that. And then we'll put a nut on there. So I'll screw that in. Now it says get it finger tight, but you might run into some troubles trying to get that on there just by using your hands. So get a 14mm wrench in a socket, or 2 wrenches, and work that on there, and just don't get it super tight, but tight enough for now. We'll tighten them up later. Alright, so now we've got 3 and 4 done, and what we're going to do is grab number 7 here and slide that into there. It's got to go above it. This is a little better way so that you get it on there right. There you go. Have your helper put those in, and then you can just set it aside like that. Bam, done. Alright, so now we're going to get the bag that says 3/16. Grab 4 bolts and 4 nuts out of there, and we're putting the screws in that hole there, both of those, and then over on this side, while my beautiful wife is helping hold the nuts on the inside with a 3/8 socket, and I've just got a Phillips head screwdriver here. So once that's done, that's good to go, and we're ready to move on. Next up, we're going to need the last 2 3/8 bolts and the nuts, and we're going to need part number 2 and part number 1. And what we'll do is we'll put that bolt facing inward and the nut on the inside there, just like that, and we'll get those nice and tight, and we'll do it on 1 and 2 at the peak. Peek, peek. So now we're going to take number 18, panel 18, and slide the bolt through that hole, just like that, on both sides of 1 and 2. That'll work good. Now we're on to the next one. At this point, you'll want to make sure that you're either doing your front rollout box or the rear. So there's the front, we want to do the rear. So this is where we're going to grab number 10, part number 10, and the 3/16 bolts and nuts. We need 6 of them. One's going under her finger, one there, one, oh, don't move it, there, one there, and there. So let's get those in. Alright, there we go. So we got the bottom tight first. That got on both sides, that got lined up. Then we tightened the sides here. That's good to go. Now we need to grab part number 13 with our little black pieces here. And we're gonna put this like that. So the bracket side will go there. We'll use 3/16 bolts and nuts again to put in those 2 spots and hold it. Boom, there we go. It's good. Now we need part number 11. We're going to do the same thing, but on the bottom. So we need 2 more of the 3/16 bolts and nuts. And we'll put those in right there and over here and connect them to 1 and 2. Alright, with that sitting flush, we've got that tightened down on this side and this side as well. Looking good. Now we need part number 15, and I'm looking at the back side of the nesting box here, and so we're gonna slide that over, and then we want to get it over this as well. If I can get it, I need some help. Gotta stretch her just a little bit. There we go. And then I'll do that side too. So it should look like that. And then we can put the 3/16 bolts and nuts into there. You may have to remove this bolt and nut to get that out. You may have to do that just temporarily. So if you do, you can push this in and get access to that nut inside of there. Then you can remove this and help get these nuts and bolts in. So do it on both sides and then on the front sides. Good. So with some help from Arctic Mama reaching around the front there, she is able to hold the nut on the other side while I was able to screw both of these in, and now she's working on that one. Like I said, you may need to remove this bolt to get in there, because she said it was difficult and it was tight in there. There we go, let's go. So now we need number 5 and number 6. I love that they added a line so that you knew for sure what you were looking at. Number 6 will go over here on the left side. Number 5 is going to go on the right side like that. They should bolt in right there. And we'll be using the 3/16 bolts and nuts again to get those screwed in. Alright, before we get these bolts here really tight, we're going to put the roosting bar on. So we're just going to push, may have to get a hammer potentially. Work it through there. There we go. Push it through the bottom. These are the 1/4 inch bolts, and then a nut, I forget, it's a locking one. Got that plastic on it. Nylon, a nylon nut, that's what it is. We'll spin that on there all the way, get that nice and tight, and then we'll go back and tighten these. To tighten those down, we've got a 3/8 socket on the top and an 11mm wrench on the bottom. That seems to be working really well. Got that nice and tight. Now we can tighten these up. On the roosting bar, we will need to change out the bolts and nuts that were with it, because there's potential for them to become loose. So you may have a little package like this one here that has a nylon lock nut and a new bolt in it, and you just need to replace that on 5 and 6. So on this side and right there. Now that we've got that, we're going to put the egg box, collection box on the back side of here, and that's where these small 3/16 by like 1/2 inch bolts are gonna go. They're gonna go on the top slot. So let's get that done. So for the rolling out the rear, that's what it's gonna look like. This is where these really small bolts will go. We'll be able to just flip that over and then push this one in, and then we'll be able to work on it. So these ones are gonna go right there. Then for the bottom two, we're gonna use the 3/16 over there. Those ones right there that she's grabbing. Yep, we'll need 4 of them all together, 2 on each side. All right, now we got those all tight. She's got her end almost done. Next, we'll be putting in the pan. All right, with the collection tray on the top, we're gonna push that in, grab number 9 here, and we're gonna slip it through the front. Then we wanna make sure that it goes over that piece, and it should slide in. There we go. Where we need it. We gotta go a little bit further, I see. Bam, just like that. And then we'll be able to put the bolts into the front there to help hold this up just a little bit. And I'm sure that there are some on the back. Right there, there's 2. So we'll put 2 in on the back side there. And that'll keep our gong banging along. The eggs will lay and roll down. Let's get those in. These are the 3/16 bolts again and nuts, so we'll get them in there, and I'll probably have to lift this up and go from underneath just like that to get that nut on there. With those 2 in, we're gonna spin this around, and now we can figure out where we want this to sit. We want it up really high, you can set it down lower. So we're gonna find that setting, and then that's where we will put, see the little slot there? That's where we'll put our bolt. We're gonna go with the bottom, so we put our bolt in there. She's using the nice wooden egg that comes with it as a help your hens. There you go, nice little test there. That helps get your hens to know to go into here. The red curtain also attracts them. So we're gonna set it down on the bottom, and if we need to adjust it later, we'll be able to do that pretty easily. So we'll just lift this up once she gets that in, and we'll put the nut on the back. Good to go. All right, the last thing to make this homey is to grab the nesting pad and slide it on in there. Now this should go all the way back into your egg collection. And look at that. Now your egg goes in there and it doesn't roll. If you want to get an actual egg and try it, it'll work. It'll work great. This is having troubles because it's got the zip tie on there. Alright, here's the test. A real egg. Whoop. That hen is doing its job, and now we're happy because we have a clean egg that didn't get pooped on. It's ready to take inside, set on the counter, or rinse it off, give it a little scrub, and eat it for breakfast. Or you could have them fertilized, and then you could just raise some chickens. Is that gonna be pokey on their butt? That's gonna be great. I don't think the chickens are gonna mind being on this. It's awesome. Let's go. We found that raising it up to the middle hole there, seems to work the best at getting these to roll backwards from being laid weirdly, oddly, anywhere. Sometimes they get caught, but with a little kicking around, they'll get back in there. So this is awesome. The red will attract the hens. The black back there will kind of hide the egg from them, which we don't. I mean, our chickens are still just chicks. They're not laying yet. They're not ready for this, but soon they will be. It's only a matter of time. And we're gonna open that up and be a full basket of eggs. So that's super exciting. Last thing we need to do is secure the predator locks. I love their instructions because they've got everything, pictures, super simple details, right to the point. It's awesome. So let's grab those, and that is number 20. These two here, we'll put those on, and we'll be able to lock the back side of this. They'll be going right there and on the other side. Alright, the last thing that we've got here is a magnet with a nut, and it's gonna go on that very bottom hole with the magnet facing this direction, so that way it'll stick to the back and those predator locks are getting on there. Let's go. When you're putting on your predator locks there, make sure that you can freely, easily turn them, and you also want to make sure that it is tight enough that it's not going to come loose, which with those, bam, there it is, it's locked now, so nothing can just push in and get to your chicks. So for the magnet, alright, there we go. Now, oh, it's locked over there. We have the magnets on the bottom, and those magnets are pretty strong, but it's great to have that extra added security. Nothing's gonna lift this up, get in your eggs, get to your girls. It's predator proof, and your girls will stay safe, and so will your eggs. Woohoo! Time to install it in the coop. If you guys want to see that video, it'll be uploaded to the Vette family channel coming soon. Something to note about the nesting box is that they do have a magnetic automatic dropper that will drop the nesting bar, the roosting bar I mean, sorry, so that at night you can put it up and in the morning it'll drop automatically. That'll keep your girls out of it at night from roosting in there, and keep it for just laying eggs. That'll help keep your eggs clean. If you enjoyed this video or if it helped you out, smash that like button. Don't forget to click the red subscribe. Check out the description for your own nesting box from Hen Gear, and they have plenty of other stuff as well. The last thing that we will have to do inside of the coop is we'll measure out our hole, which they have the dimensions right there. That's awesome. 24.5 inches by 15 inches. Cut an opening, and then we'll put these up, and the nesting box will hang right off the back side here. It just slips in. So you put that on the 2x4 or your wall, screw it in, set your nesting box in it on both sides, and you're good to go. This is exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed. God bless y'all.